Do you listen to your body? And do you hear your inner voice? I had this weird realization after my grandpa died. It was either the same day or the day after. I think it was the same day where I was in the kitchen and I was doing something and it was a little struggle. And all of a sudden, I heard this little voice that was like, try it this way. And the way they said it was so calm and so chill and so clear, like confidence. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just listened and I was like, yeah, sure. And I just did it. And then I was like, wait, what? Who was that, you, Grandpa? It's like, my initial reaction was like, is that my grandpa? Is that him? Did he just help me? Because, like, hold up. Well, and something had been happening before he passed. Like, he had been in the hospital 8 months before that for a broken femur. And when that happened, I started meditating, praying, talking to the universe. We'll just say that. I say it as I was talking to the ethers. I was like, I was putting out energy and vibes, and I was talking to my grandpa, and I was so heartbroken because we hadn't spoken in so long and we hadn't been close in forever that I was wanting him to wait. And that's selfish if somebody is suffering, but it's also not selfish when you think about, I don't know, just how much you love people. Like I loved him so much that I hadn't been able to see him in the hospital, and that broke my heart. So I really wanted to make sure I at least got to talk to him. And I was able to. I was able to FaceTime him and everything. And I will be forever grateful for that. Like, without that, I don't think I'd be as okay as I am now. I know me crying doesn't seem like I'm okay. It's just remembering not feeling okay, not being okay. And when he passed, most people were very, very, like, they were very sad and not knowing how to deal with it because, he's just always been there. And it was sad for me too, but I had, experienced that sadness for a while now, just not being close to him, not feeling like it was safe to be close to him because of the family dynamics. So that was a gift from him. And I later learned and realized that was like my inner knowing, my internal voice, my higher self. Or it could have been him. But either way, I feel like he cleared a big, major blockage for me that I knew I had. I just didn't know how deep it was affecting me and how much it was taking from me. But I started I was sad, but I also just started asking more and more questions again. More questions about the internal versus the external, or the internal to explain the external. And I started getting answers. I started listening to that voice more and more. I started wanting that voice more and more and realizing that, hey, I have a really trustworthy voice inside of me. And I've been taught not to trust it. Or I felt like I couldn't trust it. And that's for a lot of reasons that weren't my own. We're all built with this internal compass for a reason. That's our gift. It's part of the deal. We have source energy. And so I was finally getting tapped back into it. And I started seeing light again. I started feeling lighter, and I started feeling loved and joy. And the running theme every time I talk about my grandpa is unconditional love. I always think unconditional love. And that's what Source is. That's what creation is in its purest form, is unconditional love. So it all ties in together. When you pay attention, you start to realize how everything ties in together. When they say nothing is random, really, truly, nothing. There's way too much intention in this mofo place. So yeah, I got emotional. I wasn't expecting to. But that's something you can do on your own too. It's just turn off the music, even though it's nice. Turn off the TV, even though it's comforting. And go back home, inside. That's where home is. That's the thing you're looking for externally, that feeling of safety. It's inside. It's inside when you start nurturing your inner child the way it deserves. And it can feel a little embarrassing, or it can feel a little foreign when you start looking at your psyche as your inner child. But that's literally the code that you're breaking. When your inner child creatively, spiritually is running the show, things do fall into place. They've been falling into place. It's like a little treasure hunt my higher self has given me. Your higher self has given you. You're this fraction of your soul's self experiencing the human journey. And you have the ability to call on higher knowledge, your highest self, Source, and everything that's aligned with Source and your highest good. You know, I have another story time about Archangel Michael, and that's my dude. But the protection is real. Ask for it. Be grateful for it. Be aware of it. And you can collab with it. You know, these benevolent beings are here to help you on your journey. And they can't help you unless you ask for help. I mean, they can still help you, they will. But free will is also respected, so ask. And I've gotten answers immediately. I'm not playing. If you're paying attention. I asked my ancestors how to handle a certain situation. And I was like, ancestors, what do I do? Because I was avoiding it. I was having this avoidant personality about it, because I was like, I don't want to be like this and that. I don't want to seem dramatic. I don't want to come out of left field. I don't want to be like, or come off even like judgmental. So I asked him, I was like, I just put my phone down because it was a text I was supposed to send. I was like, maybe I don't have to do this. Maybe I don't even have to deal with this. And then I was like, how do I do this? How do I deal with this? And as soon as I asked this, my cat goes right in front of me to walk on my keyboard, my computer, and she knows not to. And I saw her about to. And because I saw her about to, I knew to stop her. And I was like, no. And I stopped her right there with my hand. I was like, And I instantly realized that was my answer. That was my answer from my ancestors. When I asked, how do I do this? How do I handle this? Like that. Just like that. Just boom. This is the door. This is where we stop. This is what it is. And be just like you were with the cat. Like you knew they were going to jump on your keyboard, so you stopped that shit. You knew they were going to cross the line in this friendship, relationship dynamic, and it was going to make you uncomfortable again. Eventually you knew this was going to happen, and you were like, I was ending things. ending that cycle, ending that dynamic. And so I was just really matter of fact. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is just who I am. And I'm like, yay, like this is me. And I've changed and I'm not sorry, but just wanted to give you a heads up. That's how I handled it. And it was fine. Like they texted back kind of in a wishy-washy way of like, oh, this is just me. And then I was just like, I know, this is me too. Okay, peace. So I was like, yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same person. It's not the same vibe. It's better standards all around. It was such a mess. So yeah, all that to say, your inner voice is there to guide you. Your spirit team for your highest good is also there to guide you. Like you have a lot of help if you just look around, if you pay attention. If you pay attention to your animals, pay attention to the weather, pay attention to nature, pay attention to Mother Earth. Respect Mother Earth, and she will guide you. Disrespect Mother Earth. That's between you and, but I wouldn't. I would cut the S right now. I would cut it. So yeah. Okay, this has been Ancient Auntie's Schoolhouse, lesson number 2. I'm glad you all checked in, and I have nothing but love for you guys. And we literally have the chance to change this world's trajectory. We really do. It's all about healing the inner self. It's all about the inner work. And it sounds either too easy or too elementary, but that's because it's the basics, and you have to go back to the basics. If your basics in your foundation were full of inconsistent material, then what do you got to do? You got to gut it. You got to go at the foundation. You got to strip it back to the bones. That's what we're doing to heal your inner child. It sounds scary and it sounds crazy, but it's literally taking the power back. So no one can manipulate you ever again for anything. For anything, because you know everything. And you accept everything, and you've healed, or you're working on healing, and you're just not going to be ashamed of your human journey because it's not meant to be perfect. But we are meant to grow, and we are meant to evolve this planet for the greater good, because it's been on a path of destruction for like way too long, as we can all agree. So I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.